Whether it's credit card for beginners to help you build your credit, or the best credit card to travel the world twice over. Today I'll be going over 20 plus credit cards, their benefits and perks, as well as ranking them so you know where your current credit card sits and where your future credit card stands. Starting with the first credit card from Capital One, the Capital One Venture X. A great $395 a year travel card that allows you to earn 10x miles on hotels and rental cars, as well as 5x miles on flights, all booked through Capital One Travel, and then 2x miles on everything else. Plus, in addition to that, this card also comes with $300 a year in travel credits, as well as 10,000 anniversary miles after your first year. That's equivalent to around $100 towards travel. And like similar premium cards, this also provides you with a credit for either TSA PreCheck or Global Entry. Now, with that said, in regards to the ranking for this card, while it has a lot of benefits, I don't think that it's ready to be a full S-rank card, primarily because of the fact that while this card is great, I think that it needs a few more or some stronger transfer partners in order to reach that level. However, I wouldn't put this card at B rank either, seeing as it also comes with a few things like lounge access and insurance and protections for your travels. With that said, I think that this card is definitely a solid A tier card, which is a great start for Capital One. Moving on to the next Capital One card, we have the Capital One Venture, a solid $95 a year travel card that has similar benefits to Venture X, like the same miles on everything, as well as a credit for TSA PreCheck or Global Entry. However, with this card, you won't receive lounge access, and you'll only receive a lower 5x miles back when you spend that on hotels or rental cars. That being the case, I probably would put this in the B tier, primarily because of the fact that the annual fee isn't fully covered by the benefits, but it does still have some strong points multipliers plus transfer partners. Continuing with Capital One, the next card we have is the Saver, a no annual fee cashback card that allows you to earn 3% back at grocery stores, at restaurants, as well as on entertainment and on select streaming services. In addition to all of that, this card also has a 0% introductory APR and 0% foreign transaction fees that doesn't always happen with non-travel cards. Now, with this card, it was a little bit more difficult to determine where to rank it, because while it's not a travel card, it still has some strong cashback categories, which includes grocery stores, one of the largest expenses most Americans have. Combine that with the fact that it's a no annual fee card, and you can see how much of a heavy hitter it is. So because of this, I decided to rank this as an S tier card. It's simple, but powerful. Now, moving on, if you do want to find any of these cards, I'll leave links to all of them in the description. That helps support these videos, so if you do use them, thanks in advance. That being said, the second to last Capital One card is the Capital One Quicksilver, another no annual fee card. However, this one only provides you with 1.5% cash back on everything, which, don't get me wrong, is not bad, but when you compare it to something like the Venture or even the Saver, it just isn't that strong of a card in my opinion. However, since it does provide you with some cash back for no annual fee, I'd label this as a B tier card. Moving on to the last Capital One card, we have the Capital One Platinum, which is the no annual fee card that's great for building credit. Now, the Capital One Platinum doesn't really have rewards, which is fine for its caliber of a card. With that said, there are a few other cards I like to group together with this one card, all of which I would consider non-reward credit cards, including the Bank of America card and the Citi Diamond Preferred. Since these cards don't really have much of a benefit besides the fact that they help you build or rebuild your credit, I'd say we have to definitely rank them in the C tier. But moving on from Capital One, let's talk about Citi, because they have some great credit cards, and the first of which we should talk about is the Citi Strata Premier. This is currently their flagship travel card and what we would consider a mid-tier card, and that's because it has an annual fee of around $95 a year, so not too pricey, but that's because of the fact that this card has similar benefits to other cards in its ranking, like the ability to earn 10x points on hotels and rental cars inside their travel portal, then 3x points on flights and hotels outside of their portal. Now, one of the things that's especially nice about this card is that in addition to the 3x points that you can earn on flights, you can also earn 3x points on gas, supermarkets, and even EV stations, then 1x points on everything else after that. With that said, one of the biggest things that makes this a mid-tier card and not a premium card, while it does allow you higher points back for these categories, it doesn't provide you with many perks outside of that, like lounge access or even a TSA PreCheck or Global Entry credit. However, it does provide you with a $100 credit for hotels once you spend $500 or more inside the Citi Thank You portal, meaning that while this does help you cover the annual fee, it's not so much more that it feels like you get a massive amount of value compared to that fee. So for that reason, I'm going to rank this as a tier B card. Moving on, we have the Citi Double Cash card. card, which is a pretty well-known card and pretty easy to understand since it allows you to earn 2% back on all purchases, 1% when you spend, and 1% when you pay your bill, which for a cashback card is pretty great. And in addition to that, it has no annual fee and has a 0% introductory APR, so that's not bad. Because this is such a solid card, I'm gonna rank this on the B tier since it provides you with a decent amount of value, but again, doesn't really push the boundaries of delivering like some of the other cards do. Next, I want to talk about the last Citi card on this list, which is the Citi Custom Cash, another no annual fee card that has a similar 0% introductory APR. However, this card is a bit more unique because unlike with the Citi Double Cash, where you earn 2% back when you spend, with the Citi Custom Cash, you can actually earn up to 5% back on one specific category per month, making it a lot more valuable. And I don't know about you, but I don't know many cards that actually provide that high of cash back that have no annual fee. So because of this, I'm actually going to rank this on not just the A tier, but actually as an S tier card. For the most part, as long as you're using this card for that category and that category alone, it's high value. But again, it's pretty hard to find that high of cash back for a no annual fee credit card. That being said, let's talk about the next set of cards, which I would consider miscellaneous cards. And that's because while these cards do have issuers, I think the branding of these cards is a little bit more well known than the issuer that it's from. Like for example, the first card on this list, the Built card, a no annual fee card that actually allows you to earn points on your rents, which when you compare that 1x points that you can earn, that may be actually greater than the 3 to 5x points that you can earn on other categories like gas, groceries, or even travel. Now, in order to be able to earn that 1x points on your rent, you do have to have 5 transactions per month on this card, but that's pretty simple and can be done with something as simple as your subscriptions. In addition to that, this card also allows you to earn 2x points on your travel as well as 3x points on your dining. With that said, the Built MasterCard is probably one of the most unique cards out there, and because of that, I have to rank this on the S tier. Moving on, let's talk about the infamous Apple card, the once so sought after no annual fee titanium card. This card, I think, has fallen out of a lot of people's minds over the years, and I think that's because of a few reasons. First of which is, unlike other cashback card, it doesn't have an introductory bonus where you can earn, let's say, $200 when you spend $500 in the first 3 months of account opening. Second, while it does provide you with cashback categories, those categories have limitations like 3% back on Apple products or 2% back only when you use Apple Pay, and then 1% back on everything else. And while these aren't terrible, it does feel a bit restrictive. Then lastly, while this card was marketed to feel like a revolutionary card, besides for the app's ease of use, it doesn't feel much better than any other store card. So because of that, I'm going to have to rank this as a D tier card. The first, but potentially not the only one, because next we have 2 cards that are the luxury cards and the Credit One cards. And the reason why I'm grouping these 2 together is because while these cards do have a bit of benefits with the annual fees, their reputation just outweighs the potential value that you may ever derive from either of these cards. For example, with the MasterCard Black card from the luxury cards, you'll see that you can earn 1.5% cash back, are provided a credit for TSA PreCheck or global entry, as well as receive a $100 airline credit and lounge access with Priority Pass, which may seem fine at face value, but then you compare it to the annual fee of $495 and you start to see what I'm talking about. And then when it comes to the Credit One cards, these are just cards trying to essentially earn you as a user by looking similar to the Capital One branding and logos. With that said, these cards are strongly in the D tier, and I would stay away from them at all costs if you could. Moving on, let's talk about the last company, which is Chase Bank, a financial institution very well known for their plethora of cards that all fall into different rankings. Starting with the first one from Chase, we have the Chase Freedom Unlimited, one of my favorite cashback cards that allows you to earn 3% back on drugstores and at restaurants, and then 1.5% back everywhere else. Plus, that's not to mention the fact that this card has no annual fee and an introductory APR of 0%, making it a really good starter rewards card. Now, one of the biggest perks that this card has is actually its ability to allow you to turn its cash back into points, when you have the Chase Sapphire card, making it an even stronger addition to your wallet because of this. So knowing that, I'd rank this card at the bottom of the A tier, a strong start for the Chase cards overall. Moving on, let's talk about the Chase Freedom Flex, another solid cashback card that actually allows you to earn 5% back on rotational categories for things like gas, groceries, or even your gym membership. This card also has no annual fee and a 0% introductory APR, making it similar to the Chase Freedom Unlimited. And just like that card, this card also allows you to turn that cashback into points when you have either of the Sapphire cards open. Now, with that said, because this card is so similar to the Chase Freedom Unlimited, I'm going to rank it in the same tier of the A tier. But just because both of these cards are an A tier, don't think that every single Chase card is going to end up there, because the next card we actually have is the Chase Inc. Business Cards, which for the set I'm actually going to do all together because these cards actually have great spending categories like the 1.5% cash back for the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited, great introductory bonuses like the 90,000 points you can earn when you spend $8,000 in the first 3 months of account opening with the Chase Inc. Business Preferred, or even the great introductory APR like the 0% you would have for the first 12 months of account opening with the Chase Inc. Business Cash, making any of these credit cards great for business owners. With that said, I'd rank all of these Chase Inc. cards in the S tier. Moving on, we have our second to last Chase card, which is the Chase Sapphire Preferred, a $95 a year mid-tier credit card that allows you to earn 5x points on travel booked through the Chase Travel Portal after you use your credit, and then 2x points on all travel outside the portal, as well as 3x points on dining, online grocery stores, and select streaming services, and then 1x points on everything else. Now, with that said, what's really great about this card is the fact that not only can you earn those points on those spending categories, but those points are actually worth 25% more than if you just had the Freedom cards. And if you do have the Freedom cards, in addition to all the points you earn on the Chase Sapphire Preferred, all the points you earn with the Chase Freedom Unlimited or the Chase Freedom Flex card are also worth 25% more when redeemed for travel. Plus can be used for a higher value with the Chase transfer partners like at Hyatt, Air Canada, or United. That's not to mention the fact that this card also provides you with a $50 annual hotel credit through their travel portal, making it one solid travel card. And because of all of this, I'm actually going to rank the Chase Sapphire Preferred on the A tier. But with that said, on to the last card from Chase, we have the Chase Sapphire Reserve, one of the best travel cards out there, and that's because of the fact that with a $550 annual fee, not only are you provided with a $300 a year annual travel credit, but you also have a credit for TSA PreCheck or global entry. Plus, in addition to that, also have partner benefits with companies like DoorDash and Peloton, and a plethora of spending categories which allow you to earn points for things like dining out and travel. And like the preferred card, these points are worth even more, being worth 50% more when redeemed for travel. Now, with that said, there is still one last benefit this card has that the preferred doesn't, which is its access to over 1,000 lounges worldwide, making it one of the few credit cards that actually provides you with an airport lounge access, and specifically has its own designated lounges. So because of this, I'm going to rank the Chase Sapphire Reserve at the top of the A tier. And the only reason why I haven't put it into the S tier here is because of the fact that even though it does have a large amount of benefits, compared to the $550 annual fee, it doesn't have enough for me to consider it an S tier ranking. Moving on though, let's talk about the last company on this list, American Express. Starting with the first and my favorite card, the American Express Gold Card. This $325 a year dining card allows you to use over $400 a year in benefits for things like Uber/Uber Eats, Grubhub, Dunkin', and restaurants on Resy. Then in addition to that, you'll also be able to earn 4x points on not only dining out at restaurants, but as well as shopping at supermarkets. And similar to the other premium cards on this list, you can use those points not only in the travel portal, but also transfer them out to airline partners. With that said, since the Gold Card not only has one of the highest points you can earn on a solid spending category like supermarkets and restaurants, as well as provide you with more benefits a year than the annual fee you have to pay, it's probably one of the best cards out there for foodies and has easy perks that you can use.
So I'd rank this card on the S tier.
Moving on, let's talk about the American Express Business Blue Plus card, a no annual fee card that allows you to earn 2x points on all your purchases up to $50,000 of spend each year, making it great for any business owner looking for an everyday card while also racking up points. In addition to that, this card also has a 0% APR, which for me was helpful with the initial startup cost of my business. And with that said, as far as business cards go, this is a pretty solid card. Not crazy amazing, but it's strong. And because of that, I'd rank this on the A tier. Now, moving on to the last card and the card everyone wants to know about, we have the Platinum card by American Express. The only question is, where's this card ranked? Because while this card does have a myriad of benefits, it does have the highest annual fee on this list of $695. Now, with that fee obviously comes things like lounge access, insurance and protections for your trips, and great spending categories for travel. But what really helps me in determining the ranking of this card is the over $1,000 a year in benefits, which includes things like an airline fee credit, a hotel credit, monthly Uber cash, and even a digital entertainment credit. However, while most credits are great and very useful, the Platinum card does have a few credits that not everyone might get use out of. Like for example, the Saxon Fifth credit, the Equinox credit, or even the Walmart credit. With that said, I don't want to downplay this card because it really does have some amazing perks. But I do want to be realistic when looking at those perks on an individual basis. So because of this, I've decided to rank the Platinum card by American Express as an A tier card. It's a super strong travel card, however, I think the benefits do need a bit more flexibility. And that brings me to something that you've got to start understanding. While we've ranked all the credit cards from worst to best, it's important to know how to actually climb the credit card ladder. To learn how to do that, check out this video. See you in that one. Bye.